let's just ignore this camera ever existed, and essentially,
I noticed recently, like this friend, not friend, friends of friend,
yeah,
this girl who was in a dance class. She has started doing the. I think she just like plays the camera.
Yeah.
And then she just like do her thing.
do her thing. Yeah, that's like the day in the life kind of a thing that a lot of people are doing, because you can then just, what I've also learned is like I just shot like 30 minutes or 40 minutes worth of me just doing my work, and then you can just cut it down and repurpose like that b-roll footage into so many different pieces of content, which is kind of great, because you constantly have to think. You don't have to think about, okay, this side I have to shoot it this way, this side I have to shoot this way. You just shoot one video and then just use different parts of that video for your content, which kind of works. So Nayonika, today we'll be, so two things I would like to do is like kind of get like a SWOT analysis kind of a thing done, right? And like when you create a SWOT analysis, you wanna, I'll show you a reference of what that looks like. Essentially, we did this a lot in Jinx Network. Like for the people who joined us, we did it a lot. We did this.
We did that when I first met you.
We did that, yeah. So I always like doing that because it allows you to be aligned with, like more aligned with what you want to do and like stuff that really matters, right? So to give you an example, okay, this is something else. Jinxed. Yeah, here it is. We call it the SWO analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and obstacles. Not threats, like things that are like, kind of coming your way. So this was the SWO analysis for me back in 2019, 2020, like roughly 5 years ago. My strengths were basically learning new software fast. I had the industry knowledge of design, communication, like knew a bunch of these tools, diversified portfolio. Weaknesses, I always try to be perfect, hop on projects that offer personal gratification. Like I'll rather jump on a cool project than a profitable project, basically. Waste time on planning, like over planning, procrastinating, learning new software.
That would also be my weakness.
Yeah. So what you want to do is just draw like this, like a cross, and just write strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and obstacles, right? So you want to just get that done essentially first. My opportunities, things that I would want to explore were basically to mix design with technology to create something unique, and utilize our strengths to teach and build high performance creators. Oh lol, that was something that I actually wrote, lol. Well, that still holds true till today, which is I still want to build creators actually, and then learn 3D and VFX software. That never happened, dude. That took 4 years, and I still haven't learned a bit.
3D.
But I've been constantly doing this, and I've been constantly teaching people.
Why do you have parents as your obstacle?
Oh yeah, back in the day, like I felt like I had a really bad laptop, so hardware constraints, and the reason I wrote parents is because my mom always wanted me to like join a bank or like become a pilot, and do something in that area, which kind of limited me from doing the things I actually were genuinely interested in and wanted to do. So yeah, that happened, and essentially but like I don't think parents are an obstacle anymore. Right now I think I've proven my point to them. Once again, the AC will go out of this door. So yeah, I mean I kind of have like shown them that hey, I can do work for people abroad and like make money online. So it's the same thing. The outputs lead this, whatever roads we have taken that you have planned and the way I've taken, it leads to the same thing, which is growing as a person and also making money, which is monetizing, right? So sometimes it's about how you take the path. It's not the end goal. Really doesn't matter. It's how you take it. Yeah. You want to see some other people's SWOT analyses? Okay. This is Craig. uh, he was good in Photoshop, Illustrator, learn super fast, confidence. His weaknesses were impatient with research and process that will aid the project. He was afraid to start logo designing. His opportunities were to design some logos, improve design thinking, design album covers for musicians. And some of his obstacles that he felt were time constraints, balancing tasks, and hardware constraints. This is in 2020, yeah. This is the date when we did this. I'm sure Craig is doing much, much better now. Like, I'm pretty sure all of these things change.
I have no idea.
Brian, a very good friend of mine, his strengths were task driven, keep learning and innovating, good at organizing, creativity and analytics were his strengths. Weaknesses, doesn't like to be corrected, gets triggered when someone fools around. What a guy. He's the guy who fools around other people. Public speaking and time management. I disagree with public speaking. He's great at this. Maybe time management, yes, because he's always late for our parties. Opportunities, working in the field of finance, write a research paper, work for the government, become a professor in behavioral finance. I don't know what that means.
What is he doing right now?
Right now, he is in the UK and London, and he's doing something. Yeah, I don't know. I need to stay in touch with Brian and see what he's up to. Obstacles, lack of motivation. I disagree with this, but okay. Motivation is an emotional thing, right?
Yeah.
So it can't really be an obstacle. I feel it's something that we have to work around. There are days that we will be highly motivated and days that we'll be like probably low motivated, and we're just going to learn how to work with ourselves, with our energy at that particular point of time. Sometimes I've learned that there are certain systems that you can create for yourself whenever you feel down, low energy, lack motivation. So if you lack motivation, go back to your purpose board, like see why you're doing things, like why am I here, why am I doing this, and why am I doing this, if I do this, what does it mean for me? So give yourself purpose when you lack motivation. Like, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to, grow myself. I want to, help my family out, whatever it is. Like, give yourself purpose. Purpose will defeat the lack of motivation. If you're feeling distracted or not focused, meditate. Meditation takes you 5 minutes. You can end up, your 5 minutes of a brain rewiring can end up giving you an entire day's worth of like productivity and efficiency, because you're just so clear and focused, like super focused. It's better than drugs for sure. Gavin's strengths were thoughtfulness. He has better than average emotional quotient, works very well individually, likes to work by himself. That's true. Gavin is a guy I've never seen work with people, but he works excellently by himself. He doesn't like to be distracted or, he is himself.
What does it mean by better than average?
EQ stands for emotional quotient. Yeah. So it's about like thinking about other people, and then, like IQ is intelligence. Yeah. Emotion is like, I know what you think and what you feel, so I'm gonna like be conscious about that and deliver what I need to deliver in the right way that will work well with you. With Gavin, I think he's good at understanding people to an extent. Yeah, I don't know actually, no comment probably. I don't understand what he means by better than average EQ actually. Anyways, this was like 5 years ago. We don't even know what we were doing. Weaknesses, lack motivation, lose interest very quickly, not good at multitasking, inability to complete things. I disagree with, not good, like multitasking, yes, I suck at that, but inability to complete things, sometimes, again, you just gotta have a system. Like, see, this is a system related thing, this is a system or process related thing. This is also something to do with, internal, like introspection. If you lose interest very quickly, understand why you really want to do things. And if you lose interest quickly, that's good. Move on to the next thing, right? If you find out that this person that you're about to marry is not the person that you really want to marry, then cool, great. It's better to find out now than find out 10 years down the line, So it's a good thing. I think that's a strength, to find what what you feel interests you and what doesn't interest you, because you should double down on the things that actually interest you, right? And lose cut ties with people who are negative or like are not allowing you to achieve your goal. Inability to complete things, I think this is a system related thing, which is, we want to, let's say I want to start a company tomorrow. I can't just be left with that thought. I need to create a roadmap. Like, okay, what are the steps? Like, what do I do in this week, second week, third week, and in this month, what's my goal? The next month. So the fact, if I'm not able to plan and create a roadmap for myself. This could be a company or as an individual. If I want to become, let's say, fit, I want to, grow 6-pack abs. I'm just not going to magically get to that form and state. I'll need to, like, okay, first diet ke andar have 3 white eggs every day, have plenty of water, like break it down into these small actionable tasks every day, right? And break down that big task into smaller things and schedule the task, whether they are weekly things, monthly things, or daily things, right? And you will get there. It's there's this cool book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and we don't rise to the level of our habits, we fall down to the level of our systems. I think that's what he mentioned, which means it's about how we set ourselves with systems rather than what our goals are. For example, for me, my note, whenever I get an idea, I'll even, like, if I get an idea while I'm driving my scooter, I'll stop at the side of the road and I'll, like, write it. Like, for example, I came up with this idea of yesterday. I was riding the scooter to Bandra, and I came up with this idea, like, oh cool, you know what, there could be like a really cool client managing system wherein clients can just, like, schedule work, add an SOP for a person, and like create a team and a feedback loop for people. Anyways, it might not make sense explaining it, but I just keep on doing that, and that's the reason why I have like hundreds of notes. But now another thing that I realized is, okay, these notes are getting like super like tricky, so I can start tagging them. So I started tagging my notes, which is like for video company, everything that has a hashtag video company will kind of be all in the space. So I started tagging them, so yeah, essentially. If it's a growth hack, I would growth with that. But yeah, anyways, that is one way of, like, this is a system for me. This is literally a note-taking system, which is get an idea, open up Notepad, write down idea, done. That completes that, So what's the system? What's the system for coming up with more cooler ideas? What's the system of getting to that point? This helps, right? Because one thing we need to understand is that our brains are not really good at storing information, but they're really good at acting in the environment at that particular point of time. We're good at reacting. Very good at reacting. We're reactors, actually. 80% of human beings are just reacting to the environment that they're in, right? So it's all a reaction. So we are good at solving problems at that particular point of time in life, but we don't know how to. Brains keep on, like, time is constantly flowing, so we get more and more information. So we can't hold all of that information. We're not a computer. So write it down. That's a great way of recording information. Some of his opportunities were working at an investment banking firm, write a book, direct a movie, like friction based and a tragedy. Gavin. Which was pretty cool. He always wanted to write. He wants to become a director. And I told him, yeah, let's make that happen.
What's he doing now?
Well, right now he's working in hospitality consulting, where they kind of build hotels and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. He likes his work. He always keeps on telling me about, he likes reading a lot of these philosophical books, which are cool, I guess. Like, they have a little bit of philosophy. Obstacles: not strong home environment, extreme mood swings, geographical area. Okay, I will agree with like extreme mood swings. Gavin, like, he does face some problems sometimes, and we try to be a helping hand for him. He's a nice guy, but even sometimes, I believe your environment is very important. The way where you grow up and who you grow up with can really shape your outlook and perspective on life. Me myself, like, growing up, I wouldn't say I didn't have a great strong home environment, but I did have a very distracted environment, because I also have, like, I live in a place where, like, there's film shooting also happening, and yeah, like, every family has their own kind of problems, I guess. So yeah, that is normal. Geographical area, true. India is now becoming great. But yeah, these are some examples. Nathan Gomes. Some of his strengths are approachable. He's confident in presenting, communication skills, problem solving. Very true. I think he's great at communication, approachable. Awesome. Weaknesses, cannot commit, lazy. Damn, Nathan Gomes, why? I mean, as much as I want to not admit it, like he needs a whack for sure. Gets carried away, all right. Again, so how do we solve for these weaknesses? Because I know that we are weak. I'm weak in certain things. I don't. My weaknesses are like I'm always too nice. I mean, I don't want to be narcissistic or anything, but again, like being nice with clients is not good.
Yeah.
Like they can take advantage of you. Not charging for your work properly. That's a weakness that I have. I like to do things for free. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, and there are certain other weaknesses that I face as well. But I think if you cannot commit, that's fine. Find the things that you want to double down on your purpose with. Again, like introspect, like what are the things that you want to do. If you can't commit, then keep it flexible for the other person, and let the other person know that, hey, I have certain other things going on. So communicate that. Getting carried away to solve something, a weakness like this, again, I think a system is important. Remind yourself. It's funny that you'll find that I'll say this word purpose a lot of times, because it actually is. Because finding purpose, when I say finding purpose, it doesn't mean like what's my life purpose. It's like, why am I doing things? Like question yourself, like why am I actually doing these things? Because if you're able to double or triple your purpose of doing something, all of these becomes like all of your problems are like gone. Like it's just like an umbrella to solve all your problems. Because if I just have a strong purpose towards this mission and vision is why I'm achieving it, it'll solve the doubt of I'm being lazy or or an excuse, because I just have so deep in purpose that I need to get this done because I'm trying to help my family out, or I'm trying to like improve as a human being, and like I have a vision and a mission, and I've committed to myself to become a new person. Like if you have a strong purpose, if you write down that, all of your laziness, your excuses all vanish, just by having a strong purpose. So that's why I would suggest, even if you're building a company, start with a strong purpose as to why. Is it to make money, or are you actually trying to solve a problem, right? That is a very important thing to ask yourself. Some opportunities: comedian, event manager, anchoring, content. I think he's done all of these. All of these he's achieved all of these things. So not going to question on that. Obstacles: lack of technology, which I think he has kind of overcome now. It's become so easy to do anything on your phone. You have a laptop. You just need a laptop and internet connection nowadays to really access if you can access Google, you have all the information you need. You don't need any guru. You don't need to go to school. I mean, you need to go to these places just for the community, for the people that you learn and work with. But if you're going to gain some information, it's already there. It's available on the web. You don't really need to kind of go out there and find for it. It's in your phone. It's lying in the palm of your hand. So one cool thing is that I realize is that we currently live in an generation of abundance, wherein our previous generation, like, they struggled a lot because they didn't have abundance. They had to work a lot to get like what they wanted. And when we were born, we just grew up with abundance, like technology, transportation, food, which is why we should be like super grateful for living and life, because we have everything that we need that the previous generation didn't have. Like the fact that we have auto rickshaws, the fact that we have shoes, right, and like slippers to like walk, that's like crazy. The fact that we have drinking water, pure clean drinking water, that it's in itself was there are certain people around this world who still don't have it, so being grateful is another thing that I kind of come to terms, and which is why I kind of started like this gratitude journal in the morning. I just say 3 things that you're grateful for in life. Like it could be like the oxygen, it could be like the people you're with, or whatever you have basically in life that genuinely grateful for. Reminding yourself about gratitude is super important. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's sometimes a little bit of introspection and solving some internal things before you actually go out into the environment and start solving problems for the world. Because when you solve yourself, you can solve everyone. When you fix yourself, like this, like there's a saying, right? Don't try to change other people, change yourself first, and then you can maybe try changing other people. But yeah, sometimes if you're trying to change someone, they'll never change. You got to change yourself, and they'll probably change. So yeah, that's what I don't know if I did that, but I think I've changed a lot since I was in Bandra and came to even here. And I have this thing that I made, which is called my 2024 game plan. So it's essentially I put it out for free also for people who wanted it.
Yeah, I saw this one.
So I kind of beautificated my goals into personal development goals, career and professional goals, health and wellness, for financial, family, personal hobbies, travel, community, fitness. So yeah, personally, these are the things, like 2 new good habits, sustainable habits, or a positive and open mindset. Learn the art of conversation and speaking to strangers. Learn how to say no and set boundaries with people. Do what is good for me and for the long run. Learn the art and focus of what's discipline. For career and professional, it was to set up Jinx networks, infrastructure, manage 10 clients on autopilot, work with 10 new interesting high network individuals, applying my knowledge in design and tech. Create 90 pieces of content on what I do on Instagram and YouTube. Lol. Yeah, I'm kind of revisiting this after a long time. But these are the whys, right? And you got to pillar down your whys. Like, okay, my first why was helping others within my limits, right? And the goal was to make content on video editing, client servicing, AI and stuff. And the smart goal was, okay, if I want to help others with my limits, then teach 10 people how to edit videos, teach 10 people how to service clients and setups, teach 10 people how to solve problems using your mind, right? This kind of went into another place. So with this particular pillar, I found out later early on is that some people taking advantage of you being polite and nice, stealing your time and decision making. Stick to the mission. So choose who you want to spend your time with. If the potential ROI of working on them is greater than 0.7. To explain this index is essentially, I came up with an index which is if I'm helping someone and providing value, you're probably not getting paid or anything from them, but do you feel that you're getting something in return? That is not hampering you. I've worked with people who I've helped so much, and then they just shoot you in the foot, and I mean, not shooting the foot, they're disrespectful. I don't mind helping people for free, and just is respectful. So that's where I came up with this. So helping people allows you to teach by the method of articulation. When one teaches, to learn, and helping others builds credibility and trust, and builds a sense of community. You may get a favor in return from the universe. Maybe that person does not help you, but the universe might help you, and that has happened a lot of times for me. I go with the mindset of not trying to get anything in return, because it just allows me to have a better mind. And a better mind is happiness, and that's whatever you're for, right? Happiness, right? So anyways, second pillar was to make new friends and new experiences, and I feel these whys can also be something that you can apply for yourself. Write down what are your whys, what are the things that you want to do. So new friends and new experiences. Goal was to make 1,000 new friends this year. And how do I do that, right? So smart goal was say hi to one person every week, ask the person if they are on Instagram, and follow them.
Say hi to one new person every week or just?
Yeah, just random. No, it should be a stranger. Just say hi. The reason I'm saying say hi, because you're not going to just say hi, you're going to create a conversation.
Yeah.
And that conversation could lead to a story could lead to, hey, what's your Instagram? Let's stay connected. And that's how I made, I've not made 1,000 friends, but I made 50 so far. And that's still great. That's 50 cool friends, So third was to be financially independent. Then make a list of executable business ideas, filter these ideas, feasibility, capital requirements, how much energy you would be requiring, and learn how to set up multiple businesses. By the way, this is the most hardest thing, which is running multiple things. But yeah, learn the art of saving and investing, utilize personal finance tools. It's all about breaking down that one big goal into smaller and smaller pieces. So that's something that's super important. and this can be applied for your business as well, or your personal life as well. If you want to achieve something, let's say you want to sell 100 soaps this let's say this quarter, in the quarter, we are in quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 2. So in order to do that, if I want to work backwards, like when you have a bigger goal, that means I gotta like make sure at least 1,000 people are aware of me. In order to make people aware of me and know what I do, maybe put some content out on social media, maybe speak to 1,000 people, or maybe put out flyers or this. And to create content, I need to make a content strategy and maybe figure out what kind of thing works with me. And then you kind of break it down into smaller steps, and then that becomes a to-do list. So to-do lists are it all boils down. Your goals, the optimal way for a goal to actually be a goal is it should trickle down to becoming a to-do list. And every day you should open up the to-do list and check things off. Make sure then your only thing in your mind is that, is this checked off or not? Have I been able to strike this off or not? Because the lesser strikes you've been achieving, then you just look at the amount of strikes you're doing. Yeah. Am I striking things enough or not? Why am I not being able to strike things off my to-do list, right? That becomes super important at the end of the day. So make your goals into as small as possible to the point that they just become a to-do list, and then your job is just opening up that to-do list every day and making sure that you're able to strike things off. If you're not able to strike things off in your to-do list, then that's probably because a task is still too big. Break that task down into further things. If you've approached 10 clients and you weren't able to strike that the next day, then break that into 5 clients. Again, you haven't been able to strike that on, build that to 1 client. If not even 1 client, then replace that task with, instead of speak to 1 client, is like to ask someone who has ask someone who might be interested. Like, try a different strategy, but don't let a task remain a task, just waiting. Oh, I'm yet to achieve this and this has not yet happened. Yeah, I got to get back to it. Just from my personal experiences, what I'm telling you, keep on. If you are not able to, like, let's say this is my calendar over here. Let's say I was not able to go for this meeting with Manav. I'm not gonna just let it. Okay, it's gone. I'll never go back. Click on that task, put it in front, and try to reschedule it, and then find out why was I not able to achieve this task. Was I busy? If I was busy, then okay, what time am I free? How do I know what time am I free? Look at your calendar, plan things out, try things out. The 3 most key takeaways is writing, journaling and writing is like super important. That's very important. Finding your purpose and your whys are super important. Like, your SWOT analysis for yourself is super important. The more you're more aligned, the better. In my calendar, I have something called GSD days, which is get shit done. And that's super important because, see, a day can go with you taking an entire, like, meetings and meeting people. That can take an entire day. And you have to-do list, right? Now, the question now comes up to being, how to manage my business when I have things to do also to execute. At the same time, I have to manage a team. At the same time, I have to speak to clients. So keep Mondays maybe only for client meetings. Keep Tuesdays just for team meetings. Wednesdays, you just do your shit. Like, get your execution table done. Like, just sit down and work. That's all you have to do on a Wednesday. At least for me, like, get shit done. GST days are super important because you just got to execute. Like, when I'm editing a video, I'm going to edit a video, then plan the next thing I'll write. If I'm writing scripts for my content, I'm not going to write one script every day. On one day only, I'll write like the entire thing, because your mind is in flow state and it's in the best chemistry to do that particular task. Once you've achieved flow state for a particular task, you will be an unstoppable machine to complete the rest of your tasks within that category. So let's say if you're not going to make one soap every day, you probably take one day and create like a batch, right? It's as simple as that. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Any questions so far, Nayonika?
I'm looking at my analysis.
And
I've written a lot of weaknesses, not
okay.
a lot of strengths.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what are your strengths? Do you feel?
Just wrote, I make good soaps.
Okay.
And I wrote that I'm helpful.
Okay.
That's all.
What do you think your friends usually say that you're good at, but you take it for granted? That you maybe have taken for granted, like, very easily. Like, your friends keep on reminding you, like, maybe you should do this, or maybe you're really great at that, or
I'm very creative.
Awesome, very nice, and I would agree, because through your work itself, like coming up with different types of soaps and you using different ingredients. That's what I would say creativity is, which is coming up with something based on intuition and thinking of things, you know. So you are creative. That's correct. What else do you feel?
Are these like personality traits or?
I would say, yeah, they could be anything. I think you're very helpful. You're very you are kind, which is I mean, I don't know if that would fall under a strength, but yeah, it's when I mean kind, it's like you kind of help people, like you like helping people. I would say, like the fact that you came here today all the way, also to like kind of learn. You'd like to invest in yourself and also maybe help me out. Like you're a very helpful person that way. So you know that could be a strength, which is that's a great strength to have, by the way. Um, so that's one thing. Um, you also like some of your strengths, I would say, like is execution. I'll tell you why. Because the fact that you have all like make soaps, like you get them done, and then you got to also package them and like deliver them. Like that's what an executor does. Like puts it all together and gets it done. So and which a lot of people, some people might not have, you know, which execution. So I would say execution, helping. Your other strengths would be, you know, you you do like taking a little bit of risk, I feel. So yeah, you know, uh, risk taking is also, I feel, something that is nice. I don't know. I might. I'm just saying from my perspective.
Yeah, I've written Ian next to it and I'm right.
Yeah. So, and it's best to do this with people. Like you know, speak to 2, 3 other 4, 5 friends also, and ask them. You know, what do you think am I good at?
Yeah.
You know, just ask them very casually, like. And then they'll firstly say, "Oh, you're good at everything," but say, "No, like, what do you feel I'm actually good at?" You know, like seriously, like, and like try to sit them down and like kind of get them to get you those answers. You need to collect a lot of data points. In fact, Kunal Shah also mentioned one thing, which is make decisions based on data. I don't know, yeah, somewhere, yeah, over there. Like he mentioned these two things, which is Delta 4. It's a theory. I can share that with you later. But the other one is data, like why data is so important. Like you should make decisions based on data. The reason I'm starting a video company is because a lot of people have asked me to teach them video editing. A lot of people want to be a part of a community, and I see why a lot of content creators are facing issues because they can't edit their own videos. So this is like, I'm not just doing it based because I want to do it. It's also because people want it, like the world wants it, and there are people who want to also learn this stuff. So have a sample. You don't need a lot of data. Sample size of 10. Like out of 10 people, how many people want it? 5, 6, 7, 8. That gives you the percentage or rate. You know, like from 10 people, 8 liked it, 5 really liked it, and 2 people like want it. Like, you know, so if basis on that data, imagine the things that you can think of. That just cures your confidence. It removes the doubt of whether this is going to work or not, because you have people literally telling you that humko chahiye, you know. So if you're sampling a product, you can give it to 10 people and ask them what did they like, what did they did not like. And if if 5 people say, if 7 out of 10 say they don't like it, then don't do that product. But if maybe 6 or 7 of them say I love it, I would consider buy it. Ask them how much would you consider paying for this. You can then find out how much you should price for your products also.
Yeah,
Once you find out how much you price your product for, you can then figure out how much your cost, how much your investment should also be. Once you understand like the value that the world is valuing this is, let's say 500 rupees, then you should know that for every product you should make at least 3 to 4 times the margin. So you should make sure that your cost of operations and expense to create the cost of production, cost of goods sold, or cost of entire thing should be 100 rupees.
Yeah.
You know, just to give you an example, you can work backwards. You don't need to work forward, basically. So that is one way that you could potentially approach this, right? So I like working with data, which is why I like working with people, which is why I'm building a community. because the only way I can get more data points from a lot of people that I'm working with is by creating a community and then sitting down with each one of them. I want to sit down with 100 video editors, speak to them personally, take them out on a coffee date, and just understand what are the problems they are facing, and then build better tools and better solutions for them. Because then I have information that other people don't have, which is the actual raw information of what video editors go through, or what does my TATG kind of go through. I want to do this with 100 clients, with 100 creators and 100 editors. So if once I know like what people want and what people don't want, what people value and what people don't value, you're able to create such better products just by getting that raw response and data. Which is why talking to users, which is a thing that Y Combinator really stresses on or focuses on, is speaking to more users, because the more people you speak with, the more raw conversations kind of develop, and that conversation is your data point in its first place, right? Which is why I told you, like, speak to 10 other soap makers in your industry, because that will allow you to.
Yeah, they have communities which I have joined, so that makes life easy in case I have any doubts. They're very helpful also.
And community also, let's say if you suddenly you get 1,000 order, like 1,000 soaps, you can at least like partner up, with other soap makers who they are confident in, and take on more work, take on that extra added wala work, which is why I feel communities are the best way to grow. It benefits you and the people around you, because let's say if tomorrow not even you get the order, someone else gets 1,000 soap order, and you're good, you're on the network, you've told them exactly what you do, you might end up getting part of that contract. And you can also fulfill it. So it's the way that we traditionally think to get customers, that we got to create content and like go up to people and get customers, but there's a completely different way of getting work as well, which is through strategic partnerships. Just for me, for Jinx Network as a video editing services, one of our goals is to just partner up with 10 to 20 different agencies in abroad, because they are probably good in design and marketing, but they need video, which is why instead of like just finding for the end client, these people might already work with clients that just need video, and they don't want to do that video. Just like I don't want to do social media and the video production side of things, I'm partnering up with people. Similar, they might need video editing as a service, which I can fulfill and I can get paid for that. Which is why we would be kind of doing an outreach for clients in abroad, like agencies and stuff. Which is, by the way, also, since you're here, if you're interested in learning cold emailing, I would like you to kind of write some cold emails for, Jinx Network. It's like emails, like typing out an email like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do. We came across your brand, and since we kind of do almost the same thing, we were wondering if we could collaborate, and we could help you edit your videos. Basically, it's a small short email with a company profile, and just want to send it out to like a couple of agencies or brands like abroad, and essentially basically that. So I can show you how to write cold emails as well, if that's something that you'd be interested in. But so you see how we can use data to kind of find out what works and what doesn't work, right? Any questions so far with the entire mind dump and process?
No, I don't have any questions.
What do you feel is your key action points for, I forgot to even ask you, like, what have you put in your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and obstacles?
In weakness, I've got one is, even I spend a lot of time on planning things, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't really take action on those things.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I lack discipline.
Okay.
Like, I'd be like, I'd do this every day, but then I don't end up doing it every day.
Right.
Then I also have, like, maybe just, like, my thoughts, doubts that, like, stop me from achieving what I want.
Okay.
Not very active in, like, putting out my product.
Okay.
I think. Then also pricing. Sometimes I'll just like probably charge less just to accommodate that person.
Right.
Which is something I shouldn't do.
Right.
Then I've written, last thing is I take things a bit lightly.
Okay.
I'm not always serious about, I have to do this.
Okay.
that. In opportunities, I've written I could for soaps. I could put up a pop-up market. I could do that. That's something I planned, but I don't execute. Then one thing I noticed, like my USP is the products that I'm specifically making in soaps is not something that's available in the, at least in the Indian market. I've tried to search but I couldn't find it. Like salt bars or something not a lot of people sell.
Okay. So you want to like innovate and create new products basically.
Soaps with fruits also, it's not something a lot of people sell. Anything with fresh ingredients, I'd say. A lot of people have like just a basic ingredient list. And it's not a lot of what do you say?
I understand. Basically, you are like two minds with launching a new product because other people haven't done it. So, okay, since we are talking about this, I'm just going to chip in with this new product thing and this taking is one cool way to actually validate. So you want to make sure that you validate your market essentially. I'm just going to write validate. Validate is basically making sure will this work? There's something called product market fit when you're launching a product. Getting something to the world, which is basically you have a product and there's a market for it, making sure that a product has a market for what you're creating. So one way of validating a market is seeing if others are doing it, right? And if they're doing it, how much are they selling and how are they selling, right? So that's basically comp research, which is competitive research is something that's important, I would say, for what you would be looking for. So if you're launching a new product, do some competitive research. And if I were to ask you, how would you do this competitive research? What would be your answer?
Ask.
Okay, who would you ask?
Friends and family.
Talk to users. But now the thing is that, would you feel that your friends and family would be the best form of? Would they be that involved with this entire new? How would they know this, right? So the quality of research might go down by asking the wrong types of users, because they'll still give you an answer. Don't get me wrong, they'll still give you an answer, but that answer could be their opinion and not really what works. So you really want to filter down between opinions and actual answers. So you need to ask yourself, is this an opinion or is this an answer? If you're going to ask me like, hey Ian, which is the best design tool? I'm going to give you an opinion, which is, hey, in my opinion, I use Photoshop because back in my mind, I've used Photoshop for a very long. But the best design tool for that actually kind of would work for your requirement could be Canva, right? So the reason why you talk to many users, I'm just going to like put dots, is because then you can find the average answer. What are the people commonly saying, right? Which is why your minimum number of users you should speak to is 10.
I was actually thinking, so I also dance, right? So a lot of people over there. So I was thinking of making like a sample batch and like probably give one to each and see what they say.
Amazing. Make a small cube, put a small tag with your branding, and put your Instagram or something like a QR code, right? And say like, hey, if you like it, we'll love a small story, or send me a picture on WhatsApp. Don't put it on social media. Use that WhatsApp message on your Instagram profile, and that kind of comes on your testimonials. So you can repurpose it that way, essentially, instead of just directly like asking someone to do 2 to 3 steps. You do the step for them. Just say like, hey, what do you think about this product? Let me know on WhatsApp. Then you take a screenshot of that WhatsApp message that they sent and put that on your testimonials page, and that will help you get your testimonials up. Products require testimonials, which is actually any product or service requires testimonials. That as I mentioned, people love people. When you go to buy a car, you're going to ask a friend, right? You're going to go down to the review section and testimonial section and read, what do actually people, because people will only trust people and never machines. Like that's just how we are programmed to be. So understand the psychology of that. So sorry, but please continue. What was your strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and obstacles?
I haven't put much. I just wrote. I don't know my obstacles. I sound very similar to my weaknesses. So I haven't. It obstacles I don't really have any.
Okay, that's
I
good.
know one thing I don't, I'm not very good with networking.
Okay, networking. What do you feel you have a problem with in networking? Is it finding the right networking groups or going up and speaking to people?
Yeah, that.
Going up to
Even
speaking to
if
people.
I do speak, it's not very what is it, productive.
Okay.
It'll just be like random conversation.
Okay. So you feel like there's no particular direction or structure
Yeah.
to your networking. All right. So here's what I do, and you could apply this for yourself as well. Whenever I'm in a networking event, right, I'll go up to a group and I'll just say hi. Hey, what's up? Just say hi. And when you say hi, there's magic in that hi. There's magic in how you say that hi, because then they'll be like, hey, what's up? And they'll probably they'll say their name, and wherein after they say their name, you're gonna say, hi, I'm Nayonika. What do you guys do? Because it's a networking event, people know that it's for networking. It's very okay to say. This is very specific to a networking event. Okay, if it's a networking event, then you can follow up that hi with, oh, so what do you do, and let them explain first, right, what they kind of do, and then you're going to follow up with, oh, that's pretty cool, that's amazing, and see if there's any value you can add to that particular thing, which is, oh, cool, I heard of this in this way. Like, try to add to what they say, right? And then it's natural for when someone has spoken, it's the other person's turn, which is probably your turn, which is like, so and you should keep an elevator pitch ready, right?
Yeah, that is something I don't have.
So an elevator pitch is essentially who you are, what you do, how you do it in 30 seconds. All right. I make cool soaps for people. I make creative soaps for people who love, taking care of themselves. Simple and short. If you want to use ChatGPT, use ChatGPT to come up with this, right? So craft that elevator pitch. If you want to see what my elevator pitch is, this is, I have Ian. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes with brand positioning, I just tell people I'm a design, tech, and marketing generalist. Sometimes it depends who I'm. Okay. One more important thing, you'll keep on having to tweak your elevator pitch and keep 3 different elevator pitches for different types of people. I mean, this is very dependent on your industry, but because I network with people ranging from people who work with me, people who are clients, and also investors, and like different types of clients, right? If it's a client in the pharma space, I will tweak my elevator pitch that will make more sense to him, because they might know very less about marketing and design. If I'm networking with someone who's already someone in technology, I can be a little bit more detailed about what exactly in technology am I doing, right? If I'm speaking to a person, a vendor, I would introduce myself in a different way, wherein it's more about communities and how I like to build communities, because it does not make sense to tell them the technical stuff. So you need to have a different introduction for different people, and that is very important. A lot of people get stuck here because they end up saying that one line to everyone, and then not everyone is everyone to understand that, right? You need to, while you're saying that, first are you also looking at, you're observing that person, trying to understand, and because they are going to introduce themselves that, oh yeah, so I work in pharma or I work in tech. That's amazing. If you are working in tech, you're probably a big shot, firstly, and understand that they probably might afford services like artisanal stuff, which is why you can also do price positioning over there. I mean, it really depends. You don't have to do it, but they might be interested in gifting, in corporate gifting, and so many other things. So you automatically get those data points like, okay, this guy runs a company, he'll need gifts to either give his corporates or his his team, or if does he have wife and kids. If yes, then maybe his wife would like really good soaps, maybe his kids would like good soaps. You got, as an entrepreneur, you got to be very sharp, and like, as you need to be really good at observing and taking in that information, and quickly run it through your mind. Okay, cool, this guy said this, okay, the next thing I'm going to say is this, this, and this, and it's going to work. This is science. This is the science part of it, which is you're literally like a pre-programmed machine to know exactly what to say, that will help you out in your business, achieve your business goals, because that's important. I mean, keeping business to business is important. Oh yeah, I was going to show you my elevator pitch. Right. Yeah. So for some people, I say I help people become influencers on social media. This line is powerful in itself because it establishes you as an expert who, firstly becoming an influencer is something big. You use the word social media, that means they know which domain. So I usually tell this to people who are entrepreneurs, who are people that are, like other different entrepreneurs, because they understand the word influencer better than creator. What I actually do is different, right? I don't really help people become influencers on social media. I probably help you create better content and win on social media, but it really depends. How much time do I have? I have 5 seconds. I'll say this.
Yeah.
Do I have 30 seconds? Okay, cool. I help brands craft storytelling short form content that drives engagement on social media. All right. For people who still don't understand, I help people and brands make cool reels on social media. For people who still didn't understand that, I help people win on social media using short form content. A different way. Let's say I'm talking to someone who is more of an investor. You know how content creators hate editing their own videos? I basically solve their entire video editing headache by a community of video editors that I mentor and coach. So how problem, and like this is the problem. I basically solve the solution. So that's the template. How, and state the problem, fill in the blank. I basically the solution. That's the formula for an elevator pitch in a nutshell. How you do it is an extra bonus brownie point, which is how you do it. So I help them solve the entire video editing headache by a community of editors that I mentor and coach. So how you also do it. This is a great way of explaining what you do. There's other ways that I also talk to other people with myself, which is I'm a design and tech entrepreneur that loves marketing and content creation. I used to run a full service design and tech company for the last 7 years. And today I run multiple ventures, a content creation company, a community of video editors, and a film location in Warsaw. So you could also explain yourself. So the reason, as I mentioned, right, we always go back to these keywords, which is purpose, writing. All of this comes through writing. You have to learn the art and science of writing. Start writing, get a notebook. I have an iPad now, but there's a reason why I have like so many things written. There's a reason why I have so many notes, is because you're able to articulate things in a much better way once you start writing things. So writing is an important skill. If you write things out, you have a more clear mind, and you're able to explain things better. People understand things better. You spend less energy explaining what you want, and everything is a win. You save time. Other person gets the information they want, and everyone wins. So write things basically. I'm just going to check on my video camera. Oops.